All right, y'all. I low-key don't really care about heaven. Not that much. I'm sorry. That's what Amity Gracie said on TikTok. And 456.2 thousand people agreed with her. Let's watch and let's see exactly what she's talking about.
If Jesus came down to earth right now in front of me, physical form, holes in the hands, all his glory, the entire shebang, and said to me, hey, Amity, guess what? There is no afterlife. Sorry, heaven's been canceled. When you die, you just cease to exist. There's nothing coming later. See you later. Went back up. I honestly, not a single thing about my religion would change. Not a single thing about the way that I live my life or what I believe is important would change at all. And that's kind of a Christian hot take, because the church nowadays is like foaming at the mouth to die and go to heaven. It's like all we talk about. It's all we think about. People are obsessed with heaven in a way that's frankly kind of unhealthy and crazy. And if you really push Christians, a lot of Christians, if you really push them and you start asking questions, their entire faith boils down to like a ticket to heaven. Like, oh, why do you believe in God? Well, so I can go to heaven. Like, why do you have a relationship with God? Well, he saves me from my sins so I can go to heaven. Tell me what's important about Jesus' death and resurrection. Well, he defeated sin and death so that we can go to heaven. That's it? That's all you can say about the resurrection? About the gospel? Is that it's to go to heaven? The entire point of Jesus being on earth is something that doesn't matter until after you're dead? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. If your whole entire religion only exists so that you can get a go to heaven ticket, that's not a relationship with God. That's not even really a belief system. That's a transaction at best. And it's a pretty shallow transaction at that. Like, I'm not a Christian so that I can go win a spot in the afterlife. I'm a Christian because life with Jesus for me is better than life without him for me on earth right now. I'm a Christian because when I am close to God, my life is abundant in love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, community, togetherness, belonging, spirituality, miracles, hope, freedom, justice, good things. And when I am absent from God, my life is abundant in shame, fear, doubt, and mediocrity. I want my 80 to 100 years now to be this. I'm not waiting for this until I die. That's crazy. Oh, when we get to heaven, one day when we get to heaven, one day? No, now, right now, in this moment. Are we forgetting that the entire point of having Christians on earth is to make earth like heaven? Father, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Right now in this moment, I am trying with every breath that I take to push as much heaven out of my heart and out of my lungs and out of my voice and out of my actions as I possibly can. To the best of my ability, I'm doing heaven now. I'm not waiting for it to happen when I'm dead. I'm doing it now. And I'm lucky enough to be in a community full of people that do this really well. I'm in heaven all the time. I see glimpses of heaven constantly. Oh, when we get to heaven, we're going to be reunited with God. It's just going to be so great. I can't wait until one day we're perfectly reunited with God. One day? Now, right now. I'm united with God right now. I love me that little Jewish carpenter man. We hang out all the time. We're best friends. We talk constantly. We go on little picnics on my lunch break every single day, and we write little songs in the woods together. It's now. I don't care about heaven. I'm not gonna waste. What a sad and depressing and miserable thing it would be to waste the 80 to 100 years that I have been gifted to be in this beautiful world and to do beautiful things, to spend all of that time just preparing to be dead. Oh my gosh, couldn't be me.
Let me show you something real quick. This is from NPR. They were burnt alive. When NPR visited Yelwada in Nigeria, in the aftermath of the killings, Christian prayer books littered the ruins. Group of young men were searching through the debris while flies swarmed around bones and human remains. 45-year-old farmer Terhemba Lormba farmed rice, maize, cashew nuts, and citrus, and sat on a stool outside what's left of his home. 8 of his family were killed. Most of them were burnt alive, including 3 of his children. He said, wiping his eyes with his shirt as he spoke. They were hiding in the bedroom. His brother was also killed as he tried to escape. Although I understand what she's saying, and I agree with points that she's making, I agree with the majority of the points that she's making. And that is a very real experience for her. Like, that's her experience right now. That's the season that she's in her life right now. She and myself have been blessed and fortunate enough to be born in a country where we have the ability to express ourselves in a variety of different ways. And one of those ways is our freedom to be able to believe in Jesus Christ openly. Because in other countries, that's simply not the case. So people are going through much different seasons on their walk with God. And it doesn't always look the same as what our experience is. Because it takes a different, it takes a different type of faith to watch your family and your 3 children be burned alive because they're Christians. It takes a different type of faith to remain faithful in that situation, because we can't diminish the hope component, especially in situations like this. Because obviously, this father who lost 3 of his children and his family, for him to want to be with Jesus in heaven, for him to still even have faith in Jesus after what happened to him, that is absolutely incredible. And that's a different type of faith. That's a different type of faith. But like I said, I understand what she's saying. I understand what she's saying. Because I do think there are a lot of people who simply say, well, I don't really care about anything else. I just want to go to heaven. And they're completely missing the call that they have right now here on earth. Philippians 1, to live as Christ. Yes, I will rejoice. This is verse 19. Yes, I will rejoice, for I know that through your prayers, the help of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, this will turn out for my deliverance. This is Paul in prison, right? As it is my eager expectation and hope that I will not be at all ashamed, but that with full courage, now as always, Christ will be honored in my body, whether by life or death. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. If I am to live in the flesh, that means fruitful labor for me. Yet which I shall choose, I cannot tell. So Paul is like, yo, for me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. Because if I'm living in the flesh, that means I get to do fruitful labor. And ultimately what? That fruitful labor that Paul is talking about is ultimately going to give glory to God. So if I'm here, if I'm on earth, then I get to give glory to God through, what I do with my life. I get to give glory to God and hopefully bring other people to God, the one that I love. But then he says, which one would I choose, to be here or to be with God, like in heaven? I cannot tell. Verse 23, I am hard pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better. And that's the thing I think we have to understand, because we're humans. We're all experiencing life differently. We're all going through different seasons. We're all facing different adversity. And sometimes the adversity that we're facing is more challenging than others. So although it might be easy for one person to say like, oh, I don't even care about heaven. And I know what she's saying. Like, she cares about heaven, but she's saying like, hey, my life is amazing with Jesus here on earth right now, that I have every reason to give him praise because I'm experiencing it. It's not just a feeling. I'm experiencing Jesus on a daily basis. It's not just a feeling. And it's incredible. And she has reason to be overjoyed, and she should be overjoyed. But you also got to understand that there are people on the opposite side of the spectrum who are really going through some stuff that is testing their faith. And just from a human to human level, the fact that they're able to hold on to their faith still is a miracle. And I think that should be praised. I think that should be praised. Because just as Paul says, to depart and be with Christ, that is far better. Obviously, that is far better. And I think that's why so many people have that longing, especially right now. There's a lot of people who have that longing, within them to just get out of here and just be with Jesus. It's because every day that goes by, I think we're becoming more aware of just the wickedness that's happening on this earth. And it's like, bro, this is a conversation I have a lot, but it's like, the more you get closer to Jesus, the more you become aware of sin. Because it's like, at a certain point, we were blind to it. We didn't understand what we were doing. We thought it was just us just being us. We just thought that's how we were. We just thought we were just having fun, right? But every day that you get closer to Christ, you understand how sinful just the world has become and is becoming, including ourselves, right? Like we recognize like, yo, I do not deserve any of this grace that you have given me. I do not deserve this forgiveness that you have given me, but yet you have graciously gifted it to me. And there is sometimes, people who say, I just want to be with you because that would be better. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to say that. I do, because I think you're right. It is better. Heaven is better. The absence of sin is clearly better than the presence of sin. That's okay. You can have that mindset. You can be in that state of mind, but at the same time, you can still live a life that glorifies God while you're here on earth. Because that life ultimately gives praise to the one that you're longing to be with. But you can't lose sight of that. If you start to lose sight of that and you simply say, I just want to be in heaven and that's all that matters. I just want to be with Jesus. All this sucks. If that's the only thing that you're focused on, then that mentality is going to keep you complacent. That mentality is going to just keep you content and not in a place where you're striving to do good works, not for salvation, but to do good works to glorify the one that you say that you want to be with. So why wouldn't you produce good works for the one that glorifies the one that you say you want to be with? You know what I'm saying? My words are getting all over the place, but like I said, I understand what she's saying. I understand what she's saying. I get it. I get it. I get it. There are real people who completely lose sight of the fact that we have access to God right now and that he can comfort us right now. He can deliver us right now. He wants to give us life and life more abundantly. And that includes our time on earth. There are people who lose sight of that. But as I said, at the same time, let's not diminish the hope aspect, because there is a completely opposite side of the church that people don't want to talk about. There's a completely opposite side where just the fact that you still have faith and that you still have hope that God is true to his word, even though your children just got burned alive, the fact that you still have hope that God is who he says he is, that's a testimony right there. That's a testimony right there. But what do you guys think? Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.